I'd start this video off by saying I miss the Canada that I grew up in and I miss my old country, but I don't think that's strong enough. I think the proper way to start it would be I want my country back. I want the Canada that I grew up in, that I got a taste of as a child, to return. And although we're never going to return to those times, when I look at the way things are today, me now being 30, just turning 30, thank you for all the birthday wishes, everybody. In the 30 years of life that I've had in this country and on this planet, I have not seen anything improve. I really haven't. Right? When I think of my childhood, I think of kids playing on the street, myself being one of them, riding your bike up and down the street, going to play in the sand pit, playing all the different games you play at recess, right? Getting injured, getting hurt, getting a little scuffed up, getting a little bit banged up, right? That's what being a child was all about. That is completely gone, right? The bubble wrap generation, where we bubble wrap kids, there's no adventure, right? I remember when I was 9 years old, we had a field trip to here in Winnipeg, that's where I'm born and raised, heading back to Vancouver in a few days from now, but where I live. But when I was 9 years old, we had a field trip. I think it was to the planetarium here in Winnipeg. It's a morning and a half endeavor. And we go there, have a time, come back, and I get right out the bus and I walk down the street. My parents had given me $10. They said, hey, not really any food at home. We're both going to be gone. Go to Subway. This is when we thought Subway was good food. Now we know the truth, but keep in mind, this is back in the mid-2000s. And so I got out that bus, made an immediate left-hand turn, and beelined it right for Subway. And the teacher says, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Subway. She's like, you can't go to Subway. You're 9 years old. Your parents haven't signed off. And then I said, okay, should I go in the principal's office? Sure. I walk in the school, walk out the back, go to Subway. That would never happen today. They would have the CCTV. They'd have the security cameras all over me. They wouldn't even let me leave the property at all. Make a phone call to the Child and Family Services. Why does your kid think that he can go to Subway? Like it is completely 180'd since then. That's one example. Or even like the exercise component. I get it. We live in a generation full of fatties where everybody is shaped like fresh mozzarella or a plum. But I don't remember seeing so many fat kids when I was growing up. There's maybe like 2 or 3 in every classroom. Now it feels like half the population is obese and consistently growing. Like everywhere you go out in public, you can see them. And then you look at kids nowadays, they don't really play. Right? Like they don't go around, like I mentioned, the sandbox, going to ride their bikes. I mean, my camera's mounted on top of my bike right now as I'm riding my bike en route to the gym, get some cardio in before I go and exercise. But that doesn't really exist anymore. You can't go out, ride your bike as a kid in the neighborhoods anymore. Why is that? I would argue part of it is because the migrants have come in and they've made the streets unsafe. I heard a quote the other day, the entire real estate market is dictated by how far away from the immigrants can we get, how far away from the Jeets can we get, how far away from the Africans can we get, from the Sudanese, from the Somali, how far away can we get from them? And the further away we get, the higher the real estate prices go. Or also in Canada's case, how far away from my native ancestors can we get? And I'll be the first to admit, I have my native card. I'm a status-carrying, card-carrying member of the community, despite the fact that the native people are so racist and discriminatory. They say, I'm a pretendian, because I'm not 100% native, and I do not share the same victim-minded beliefs that they have. The natives have a huge PR problem, and until they decide to fix it and come together as a collective group, I get it, there are some exceptions to the rule that do take some accountability for some things and want to strive for better. Until it as a whole is fixed, that's going to say the same thing. They're not going to change their PR problem. Anyway, kids don't ride their bikes out anymore up and down the streets at night, go to the local playground, because of all the crime. Why would you allow your 9-year-old or your 8-year-old or your 12-year-old to go and have fun out and play in the park when that's happening? It feels like every single day there's a new stabbing, there's a new jumping, it feels like there's some type of horrific violent crime every single day happening in this country. I get it, a lot of it is happening more on the eastern side towards Toronto, but it's starting to make its way westward, and I don't like it. I've seen videos in Calgary where it looks like New India. I've seen spots in Vancouver, well, not totally in Vancouver, but more towards Surrey, in the Coquitlam, Burnaby areas where it's pretty much New India. Right? Winnipeg is New Punjab. And these people come from their filthy cultures, these shithole cultures. They don't even have proper trash compacting. Right? They don't even have a recycling plant. They just dump their shit in the river. The river will take care of it. Right? They shit in the streets. And again, I'm trying to be very careful for YouTube's sake. They take advantage of women. You know exactly where I'm going with that. We're supposed to be in this feminist society where we care about women so much, and we care about them so much that will let them headshot their future kids. 3.3 million abortions in Canada since the year 2000 compared to 8.1 million newborns. Almost 25% of all pregnancies since the year 2000 have been headshotted by their future mothers. With that being said, we bring in these violent thugs, these criminals that treat women like cattle. And then we wonder why the RAPE is through the roof, why these types of crimes are through the roof. Does anybody use their brain cells to think about this type of stuff? I miss the old Canada where that wasn't really a thing, where you can go out and play. Imagine this, for you parents out there, imagine you had your kids at 10 or 12 years old. You said, here's $50. Actually, no, here's $100 because of inflation. Take this money, go out, have some fun, go to Burger King tonight, go to VJ's Driving, wherever. I mean, preferably avoid the big corporations because we don't want to support them because they are bringing in our replacements. Have a time, stay out past the sunset till it's dark, and just come home safe. Take transit. Are you kidding? You have to be off your rocker to say that's a good idea. That's completely changed, right? That doesn't exist. There's a little bit of that when I was growing up, but not so much anymore. It is completely gone. Or even let's look at the women. I harp on the women's side so much because society is built on men and women coming together and having families. For some reason, we are the only species that thinks we are better than reproduction. Every species exists to survive, eat, water, breathe, sleep, and then reproduce to have the next generation come in and continue on. And we are the only species on this planet that thinks reproduction is not important. Chasing travel, chasing luxury, chasing careers, chasing soul-crushing corporate careers for the government is more important than having children. And our women waste their 20s. They waste their late teens, early 20s into their early 30s to prioritize some soul-crushing career making 40 grand a year with benefits to freeze their eggs. And then they wonder why at 32, 33, 34, why they can't find a good guy. Also because they've been so hardened because during that time they've been dating, they've been having lots of fun, but no serious prioritization. And then for the male side, you wonder why the women are so corrupted. I mean, you can't even go to a concert, a country concert, without being surrounded by turbo whores everywhere. Fatties. The average woman in Canada weighs 185 pounds. I weighed 185 pounds at 6'5" in grade 12. I'm now 200 down to 35. I was 240 down to a lean mean 235 right now. So the average woman in Canada is only about 50 pounds lighter than me at 6'5". They are fat. These women are obese. They are like bowling balls with the density of Doug Ford. This is what you are dealing with. And on top of that, when I say turbo whores, I'm talking these fatties that are in their skimpy tops, which is basically like spaghetti noodles. They have all the rolls, everything showing nothing to the imagination. There's nothing better than a woman that leaves a little bit to the imagination. And they have all the fun. They talk like truck drivers. A lot of them have had abortions, right? These 3.3 million abortions are coming from somewhere, not just coming out of the sky with the stork. Right? That was another fairy tale. Back in the day as a kid, you believed, at least I did, the magical stork came down and would deliver children in a basket is a beautiful thing. Now kids at, 5 and 6 years old in schools are being taught about all the degeneracy of the alphabet soup crowd. And they promote this type of degeneracy because they want to stop people from reproducing. They have to steal your kids somehow because you cannot be a part of the alphabet soup crowd and reproduce. It is literally impossible. I'm not going to listen to any of the complainers and the liberals in the comments and the soy boys and the beta males. Well, you can reproduce. No. Men and women reproduce. Male, female, every species. There's no species on Earth that prioritizes this type of same-sex degeneracy than that. People should be having kids. Should be prioritizing families. What a beautiful thing. I would love to see families return too. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? If you could live in a neighborhood surrounded by families. You go across the street, hey, John and Betty. Hey, Tom and Susan. Like, you got to know the families. I remember growing up as a kid, I would know my own neighbors. They would come over, hey, here's a pie. Here's some cinnamon buns. Here's a pecan pie. Here's a loaf of bread. I remember neighbors right across the street. They were like 90 years old. Joe and Ann. They literally bake bread. And maybe once a month, twice a month, they come, here's some bread. We also made some jam and some preserves. Here you go. Just because, you're part of the neighborhood. We're good neighbors. That does not exist. I heard a story the other day. A good friend of mine, shout out to Zach. You know who you are, bud. You're an absolute stud. He's got a gal, and they decided to buy a house. They want to start a family. And they're applying for houses, and all the Jeets are outbidding them, right? You have 15 Jeet brothers coming from India or from Somalia, wherever, combining their finances that they get from the government to outbid all the native population to buy a house. And so they're getting outbidded. And some of the people that are receiving the bids are coming out and saying, hey, I want to see a picture of your family. Okay, here's a picture of Zach, his gal, and the dog. You guys planning to have kids? Yeah, you can have the house. You don't want the $100,000 from the immigrants? No. I love my neighborhood. I'm passionate about my neighbors. I like this little area of town. I don't want it being run by dirty Sikhs and migrants. I want white people in the neighborhood. And for those of you in the comment section, I've seen it lately, you soy boys and you beta males and you liberal feminist women that have too much baggage. There is nothing wrong, this is what these people say, there is nothing wrong with the Sikh people, with the Somalian people. Why are we so mad about this? This is true. There are some people of these descents that are good, and I am friends with some of them. But the exceptions to the rule do not disprove the rule. If your entire community are dumping the trashes out into the streets, they are stabbing your local neighbors, they are hunting geese, they are shitting in the streets, they are taking their language and talking about you in it. I don't care how good you are. Your community is giving you a bad reputation and you are having a PR problem. You should be a leader and go and fix this. This country was built and settled by white Northern Europeans of Christian descent, and they founded this entire country. Yes, there's little pockets. There's there's Italian pockets. There's Irish pockets, right? There's British pockets. I get it. There's French pockets. Totally get it. Northern Europeans, typically of Christian descent. That is what built the country. So let's take these third world people that don't appreciate it and dump them in off the boat and erode our quality of life. Right? This is what we've done. I miss the old Canada. I miss my country that I grew up in. Right? Some families would stick together back in the day growing up. Some. Now everything is completely interchangeable. You can get a brand new car every year, go into debt, don't like your job, go become a doctor, go spend 8 more years at school into your mid-30s, late 40s, and change that. Don't like your husband, Becky down the street tells you can do better, and your horoscope and Instagram is telling you deserve the world, you're a queen. Interchange, get rid of him, find a new sexual partner. I hate the word partner, it's like nails on a chalkboard for me, but that's what you liberals call it. So we'll be a little bit inclusive here for one time. Interchange your sexual partner every couple years, rack up a body count of 20, 50, 100 dudes, and wonder why you're no longer sticky. You know, nobody wants to talk about this. I'm going to say this, and I don't care if I'm allowed to or not. You know what keeps families together? Men are loyal by instinct. We will do dangerous things. We will sacrifice our life for the people that we care about and that we love. My mother, my woman, my family, my kids, I will do that. I will sacrifice for that. Women are not the same way. They do not have the same type of loyalty that we do. Women are emotional, and they are only loyal based off their emotions and their attachment. And when a woman goes through 100 dicks, there is no stickiness left. What is stopping her from bouncing to dick number 100 when you are 99? That is the only thing that keeps families together. Men being loyal, women being sticky. And they've eroded it because these women are too busy dressing like turbo whores out at concert, having all the endless fun, being absolute degenerates, voting for big social handouts, the welfare state, big, completely incompetent government that, under the name of empathy, give everybody a chance. Bring in these third world migrants. Leave this for a different video. I would argue our ancestors had it locked down tight, and the second they started allowing women to vote, that is where things started going downhill. And you know what's interesting? You beta males in the comment section, you liberal men, are going to comment, well, there's nothing wrong with women voting. Women can be competent too. No matter how liberal or conservative the women are that I've dated, all of them at some point utter something along the lines, I don't care about voting, I don't care about my job, I just want to be a mom and have family. Even the ones completely indoctrinated by the liberal feminist programming that go and march at the abortion rallies, even they say it. The hardwiring cannot be broken, it cannot be corrupted by this level of degeneracy in society. And most of them would happily forego that and allow men to go and do it. Right? Who's going to have the best interest of the family, the man or the woman? The man that wants to protect the family and takes the best interest of the family at heart. Now, I'm going to play devil's avocado to myself. Most men are retarded. Take a look around you. Next time you go to the store, and you go to Superstore, you go to your local butcher, which you should be going to over the big corporations. You go to your local coffee shop over Durka Donuts, aka Tim Hortons, or the Singh Hortons, the Taj Mahal Hortons, the Punjab Donut Store, Home Depot, Punjab Depot. You should be going to the local shops. Keep your money in the local economy. But when you do, you'll notice one thing. There's no turbans. There's a lot of white people. There's a lot of normal white people going to these butcher shops and these local mom and pop stores. But even there, you'll notice how fat they are, how they are completely overweight. Right? Look around you. I tried doing this recently. I tried taking photographs and documenting fat people and sending it into my group chats, and people that I care about to say, look at this, isn't this interesting? Here's some entertainment for the day. And I found myself getting to the point where people that are genuinely fat, I would neglect and I would totally dismiss that. I would not photograph that or document that, because that's not even fat when you compare it to the obese people that literally look like Java the Hutt, like melted butter on a hot summer's day, melting into their lawn chairs. And these are the warriors of tomorrow. And when I look at the future of the country, where in 20 years from now, like go by any kid's playground, look at how every color of the rainbow is there except for white kids, because people are not reproducing. They say the birth rates are 1.26 in Canada. It's bullshit. The natives are at 2.4, which is completely bumping that up. The immigrants are completely bumping that up as well. I guarantee you, if you actually got an honest check of the numbers, the birth rates in Canada would be below 1. I guarantee it. If you look at women, and you have been as successful at dating as I have been, because again, I'm very fortunate. 6'5", tall, handsome, humble, and sexy, ex-professional athlete. All of these women have degenerate fun in their 20s and wasted away their fertile years, and then can't find a man, or if they can, they have one kid, then take him to the cleaners because he's an absolute beta male, because you have to be a beta male to entertain a woman seriously in her 30s, and you wonder why the divorce rates are so high. You wonder why. And they can't find a good man. Then they go and complain on TikTok and then manifest it and reconvene with their women's rights activist groups. They have all the rights in the world, folks. Go sit in a family divorce court. You'll find out how well they get treated and how we as men get absolutely bent over with no spit, no lube, sandpaper finish. That's another thing too. I miss the days where you could entertain the idea of marriage as a man and not totally risk everything and blowing up your entire life and getting alienated from your kids. I'll be honest, early 2000s, yes, still similar anti-men sentiment, nowhere near as bad as it is today, and even go backwards in time when it was at least somewhat 50-50, somewhat fair. But I miss my country. And you look at the beta males that are being entertained by the degenerate, masculine, hardened, baggaged women. Those are reproducing, that is producing the generation of tomorrow. I'd argue we have a complete generation of fatherless men. The men have not been fathers. The women have been completely fatherless, excuse me. We have a generation of men that acted more like pieces of furniture than active, engaged, and supporting role models and the masculine leaders they are supposed to be, but they're just fat, obese, soy boy beta males that have no leadership ability, no fight, no jam, no tenacity, no truculence. And go look around in public. You see these fat, loaf-shaped men. Those are the warriors that are supposed to take back the country. If there was a revolution or a revolt tomorrow, I would probably be one of the ones leading it. I cannot wait for the day the country is ready to take things back. And I will be out there marching with you people that have your eyes wide open, because I want my country back for my future children. If you people started thinking about your future children, you start thinking about the future. It's not going to get better in my lifetime. I will suffer the decline, and I'm okay with that. I am willing, and I've accepted I will suffer the decline for the betterment of my future children. And you people that don't even want to think about having kids and think about what sports team is playing tonight? Sports ball, yay. The third world has invaded Toronto and looks like new India. Not a single cricket out of you people in Toronto. But the Blue Jays are playing the World Series. Yay, sports ball. We're going to win the whole World Series. Idiots. Peons. Absolute degenerates. You moron. You low IQ people in this country. I haven't even had a coffee this morning. I was feeling fine. I was feeling okay coming into this monologue. Now I'm fired up. Now I'm pissed off. Now I'm ready to go to the gym. Damn it. I love my country. And hopefully, fingers crossed, when this country wakes up like the people in Belfast, like some of the people in Southampton in the UK, and are ready to take the country back, I will be in the front lines, because I love my damn country. And I will fight for my country, for the betterment of my kids. I'd be lying if I didn't say I am scared for the future for my kids. When I think of, okay, what's going to look like in 20 years from now? It's going to get a whole lot worse before it gets better. And would I be better off to go to a small town here in Canada and raise my kids there, away from all the big city degeneracy and the big city problems and big bloated government? Probably. But would I be better off to just go somewhere else, like in a Panama or a Paraguay, where it's a traditional conservative base? The government just kind of leaves you alone. Great tax incentives. Fantastic tax incentives. That does sound pretty good. I will give Canada credit, though. As a company of one and an entrepreneur myself, the tax structure is set up to benefit people like me. And I have a very favorable tax code, especially here in Manitoba, where company of one, entrepreneur, under $500,000 a year in revenue, you're paying 7% tax, up to 12%, depending on how you do. It's pretty good, as opposed to you wages who are paying 30 to 52% income tax. 7 to 12%, 30 to 52%. What an absolute scam. And all your money is going to funding pride parades and painting the sidewalks in alphabet soup colors and funding tampons in the men's bathrooms and making sure that we have condoms for the gorillas over in the Congo to have safe sets. Trying to be appropriate for YouTube content here, my language. World is crazy. Become a channel member. It's 99 cents. You can support the content creation like this. If you like what I have to say, you support it. Put your money where your mouth is. I don't see other people on YouTube talking about this, and you get access to all my videos that are scheduled to go up live right now. You can watch a whole batch, and you can binge them. Comment section, people. What did I miss? What did I hit the nail on the head with? Is there anything that you would add? I read all the comments. I respond to the good ones. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.